Here are your names. Mr. White, Mr. Blonde.
Reservoir Dogs wasn't just a crime movie. It was cinema rebellion. A film that took a video store clerk's obsessions and turned them into the blueprint for independent filmmaking. But behind the color-coded criminals and vintage soundtrack, nothing was conventional. The budget was smaller than a luxury car. Harvey Kitle had to convince studios the unknown director wasn't insane. And the most violent scene in movie history shows absolutely nothing. These are 10 brutal facts about Reservoir Dogs. Fact 1. The video store film school Tarantino didn't go to film school, he was paid to attend it. Working at video archives in Manhattan Beach, Tarantino spent 5 years watching every movie ever made while getting paid minimum wage to recommend films to customers. His job was essentially a film education where he studied everything from European art house cinema to exploitation B movies, developing encyclopedic knowledge of film history and technique. Tarantino would arrive early, stay late, and take movies home every night, analyzing storytelling structures, dialogue patterns, and directorial styles across every genre imaginable. His co-workers became his first film school classmates, engaging in intense debates about movies that most people had never heard of. The video store experience taught him that great films could come from anywhere, not just prestigious studios or famous directors. This working-class film education gave him a different perspective than traditional film school graduates, emphasizing entertainment value and audience engagement over theoretical concepts and academic pretensions. Fact 2. The $30,000 miracle budget Reservoir Dogs cost less than most people's cars and changed cinema forever. Tarantino raised the microscopic budget by selling his script for True Romance and convincing actor Lawrence Tierney to invest his own money in the production. The entire film was shot in 30 days using a single location, minimal crew, and actors who worked for almost nothing because they believed in the project. The budget forced creative solutions. No elaborate sets, no expensive special effects, no big-name stars demanding huge salaries. Every dollar had to serve the story directly, eliminating waste and focusing resources on what mattered most: dialogue, performance, and atmosphere. The financial limitations became artistic advantages, proving that compelling storytelling could overcome production limitations through pure creativity and determination. The micro-budget approach influenced an entire generation of independent filmmakers who realized they didn't need studio money to make professional quality movies. Sometimes the best art comes from having no choice but to be resourceful, innovative, and completely committed to your vision despite financial constraints. Fact 3. The Harvey Kitle credibility call. Harvey Kitle didn't just star in Reservoir Dogs, he became its godfather and guardian angel. When Kitle's agent sent him Tarantino's script, the veteran actor was so impressed he immediately called the unknown writer-director to discuss the project. Kitle's involvement transformed everything. His name attracted other professional actors, legitimized the production with distributors, and provided access to industry resources that would have been impossible otherwise. The respected actor didn't just lend his talent. He became a producer and mentor, helping Tarantino navigate the complex business side of filmmaking. Kitle's endorsement was crucial because it signaled to the industry that this wasn't just another amateur vanity project, but a serious artistic endeavor worth supporting. Without Kitle's early faith and ongoing support, Reservoir Dogs might never have been completed or distributed, proving that sometimes established artists must champion emerging talent to keep cinema evolving and vital. Fact 4. The warehouse location luck. The entire movie was filmed in a building that was literally falling apart, but that decay became part of the atmosphere. The abandoned warehouse in Highland Park, Los Angeles, was chosen because it was cheap and available, not because it was ideal for filming. The location had structural problems, unreliable electricity, and no climate control, making every day of shooting an endurance test for cast and crew. The building's deteriorating condition added authentic grittiness that expensive set decoration couldn't have achieved, making the criminals' hideout feel genuinely desperate and temporary. The single location shooting forced Tarantino to be creative with camera angles, lighting, and staging to create visual variety within the limited space. The location's practical limitations became storytelling advantages. proving that sometimes the best film sets are the ones that force directors to find innovative solutions, rather than relying on expensive production design and multiple locations. Fact 5. The nonlinear narrative revolution. Tarantino didn't just tell a story, he exploded it into pieces and reassembled it like a puzzle that audiences had to solve. The fractured timeline wasn't just stylistic showing off. It was sophisticated storytelling that revealed character information strategically to maintain suspense and mystery. The non-linear structure allowed Tarantino to begin with the aftermath of the failed heist and gradually reveal what went wrong through flashbacks and character revelations. This narrative approach influenced an entire generation of filmmakers who began experimenting with chronological structures and audience expectations about how stories should unfold. The fragmented timeline created multiple climaxes and revelations that kept viewers engaged throughout the film, rather than building to a single explosive ending. The technique required precise script construction and editing to ensure that each time jump served the story's emotional and dramatic needs. The narrative innovation proved that independent films could be intellectually challenging and commercially entertaining simultaneously, elevating genre filmmaking beyond simple linear storytelling into more complex and rewarding cinematic experiences. Fact 6. The ear scene controversy. The most violent scene in movie history shows absolutely nothing, proving that psychological horror is more powerful than graphic imagery. The infamous torture sequence where Mr. Blonde cuts off the police officer's ear was filmed with the camera panning away from the action, leaving the violence to viewers' imaginations. Tarantino understood that suggesting brutality rather than depicting it would create more lasting psychological impact than explicit gore could achieve. The scene's power came from Michael Madsen's disturbing performance, the victim's terror, and the casual way Mr. Blonde dances to "Stuck in the Middle with You" while committing torture. The controversial scene sparked debates about movie violence and censorship while establishing Tarantino's reputation for pushing boundaries through intelligent provocation rather than simple shock value. The ear scene became a masterclass in how to create maximum impact through minimal means. Fact 7. The color-coded character system. The character names weren't just cool, they were psychological warfare that stripped away individual identity in favor of criminal anonymity. The color-coded system, Mr. White, Mr. Orange, Mr. Pink, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Blue, and Mr. Brown, reflected how professional criminals operate using aliases to maintain operational security and emotional distance. Each color carried subtle psychological associations that influenced how audiences perceived the characters. Mr. White suggesting purity and leadership, Mr. Pink implying femininity and weakness, Mr. Orange representing warning and deception. The aliases prevented audiences from forming normal emotional connections with characters, making their fates feel more fatalistic and inevitable. The color system also served practical storytelling purposes, making it easier for viewers to track multiple characters without traditional exposition or character development scenes. Fact 8. The Sundance Film Festival sensation Reservoir Dogs didn't just win Sundance, it reinvented what independent cinema could be and sparked the 1990s indie film revolution. The film's premiere created immediate industry buzz, with distributors and critics recognizing that something fundamentally different had arrived in American cinema. The Sundance screening proved that independent films could be commercially viable and artistically sophisticated without studio backing or major star power. The festival reception launched careers, secured distribution deals, and established Tarantino as a major new voice in filmmaking practically overnight. The film's success at Sundance demonstrated that audiences were hungry for alternatives to mainstream Hollywood entertainment and willing to embrace challenging, unconventional storytelling. The Sundance triumph proved that the independent film movement could produce work that was both critically respected and commercially successful, encouraging other filmmakers to pursue unconventional projects and investors to support risky artistic ventures outside the traditional studio system. Fact 9. The soundtrack revolution. Philly's super sounds of the 70s became the coolest radio station that never existed, proving that music selection could be as important as dialogue in creating atmosphere. Tarantino's choice of vintage soul and pop songs wasn't just nostalgic decoration, it was character development and thematic enhancement that influenced how audiences experience the story. The soundtrack approach was revolutionary because it used existing popular music rather than original score to create emotional connections and cultural context for the criminal characters. Songs like Little Green Bag and Stuck in the Middle with You became permanently associated with the film, demonstrating how effective music supervision could transform forgotten tracks into cultural touchstones. Fact 10. The acting ensemble Democracy Tarantino cast unknowns like they were movie stars and movie stars like they were unknowns, creating ensemble dynamics that elevated everyone's performance. The director gave equal dramatic weight to established actors like Harvey Kitle and complete newcomers like Tim Roth, refusing to create traditional leading man hierarchies that might have weakened the group dynamic. Each actor received substantial dialogue and character development opportunities regardless of their previous credits or industry status, making every role feel essential to the story's success. The democratic casting approach allowed lesser-known performers to shine alongside respected veterans, creating career-launching opportunities that might not have existed in more conventional productions. The casting philosophy reflected Tarantino's belief that good acting comes from understanding character and story rather than fame or previous success, encouraging performances based on merit rather than celebrity status. The approach influenced independent filmmaking by proving that effective casting could create compelling drama without expensive star power or traditional Hollywood hierarchies. Reservoir Dogs wasn't just a debut film, it was independent cinema's declaration of war against Hollywood convention. From video store education to warehouse revolution, this micro-budget masterpiece proved that passion and creativity could triumph over money and connections. Hit that subscribe button for more guerrilla filmmaking secrets, and tell us, what's your favorite color-coded criminal? Let's go to work, because in the movie business, reputation is everything.